Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. This is your host Ram on the cricket show, Cricket Happenings, albeit a bit late, but nevertheless, I am back with my usual weekend cricket show, as we call it now, the Cricket Happening Show. Well, what I have in store for you on this Cricket Happening Show is going to be the Indian Tata Indian Premier League 2022. We had wins, some exciting matches happening with Rajasthan Royals winning against the Mumbai Indians. Mumbai Indians yet to score, continuing their normal way of playing the IPL, where they are always down in the dumps and then they rise like a phoenix from the ashes to really put up a good performance. And also the other match, Delhi Capitals versus it was the Gujrat Titans, the new team on the block, led by none other than a brilliant all-rounder, Hardik Pandya. They won the match by 14 runs in a close game. Other than that, I have international cricket for you. Pakistan have wrapped up the ODI series against Australia 2-1. Talk about that. And then Bangladesh, South Africa. Bangladesh continue to impress after the very good showing against New Zealand, winning the first time, and then coming to South Africa, picking up their maiden ODI series win against South Africa. They have really started making history. And here once again, even though they conceded a lead, but I thought they put up some great resistance to whittle down the lead so that they conceded only 69 runs lead. I reckon 75 ahead right now, the South Africans in their second leg without losing a wicket. And also, New Zealand versus New Zealand definitely got a real scare. They at one point, the New Zealand were 5 down for probably 40 odd runs. But Tom Latham, the captain, coming up with a wonderful knock, and in fact, uncharacteristically playing some big strokes towards the end, which he's not known for, took them to victory. 140 got his highest ODI score there, Tom Latham, supported by Doug Bracewell with some real biffs down the ground. And they went on to so Netherlands definitely having the New Zealand, the Kiwi batsman under the pump, but New Zealand recovered thanks to their captain Tom Latham, who went all the way, and also and the match was won comfortably in the end because New Zealand went on to score 264, but the Netherlands unfortunately were bowled out for 146. New Zealand winning the match by 118 runs. And that was, I think, the series, or I'm just going to check that for you. New Zealand lead the 3-match series right now at 2-0. I'll have a sneak peek at that as well. So, but first we will first talk about the Indian Premier League 2022. So let's get into the Indian Premier League. The first match that I'm getting into in the Indian Premier League will be the game between Rajasthan Royals and Mumbai Indians. Let's have a look at that particular game. Now, that if you look at that particular game, Rajasthan Royals, posting 193 for 8, with the lion's share being done by none other than Josh Butler, who cracked a century of 68 deliveries with 11 fours and 5 sixes. And in an over of Basil Thampi, the pacer, he went absolutely berserk. He cracked 3 sixes and 2 fours in that over to pick up 26 runs. And there was a phase of play for the Rajasthan Royals in 3 overs. They went 73 runs. Then absolutely Butler going berserk, one could call, with Shimron Hetmeyer at the other end. Some contributions, solid contributions coming in from Sanju Samson with 30 of 21 deliveries, 3-1-4 and 3 sixes. Hetmeyer joining in the fun as well with 35-14, 3 fours and 3 sixes. That is pretty much the story of the day for Rajasthan Royals. Other than that, Yashasvi Jaiswal out for 1, Dev Padikal for 7, Parag for Ashwin 1, Saini 2, 193 for 8. The final tally for the Rajasthan Royals on this particular pitch. And And the bowling, Jasprit Bumrah, the other day we saw he leaked a lot of runs, probably in his first game, but here he really, really came back big time. 4 overs, no maiden, 3 for 17 for Jasprit Bumrah. Samson for 32 of his 4. Thumpy bowled that solitary over for Butler, which was crashed for 26 runs and never bowled after that. Murugan Ashwin got taken for runs, 3 overs for 32. Taimal Mills also not, definitely not able to put a lid, but picked up 3 wickets for 35. Pollard was really smashed by Shimron Hetmir, who won the battle against Kieron Pollard in one particular over. And Pollard had figures of 4 overs, 1 for 46. Mumbai Indians were chasing 193 runs. The chase, definitely they lost Rohit Sharma early in the piece to Prasidh Krishna. Ishan Kishan was going well, but that Ishan Kishan, we all know that he's someone who can really crack the ball high and big. And he cracked 54 of 43, 5 fours and 1 6. But the surprise packet here was this youngster. The other day we saw, we were talking about Ayush Badoni, the 21-year-old who is really, really making waves in this Indian Premier League 2022. But I think this bloke, Tilak Verma, has shown with his knock today that he is someone, some player to reckon with for the opposition. What a knock. I mean, he held his pose when he hit it. He hit the ball straight and he hit it big as well. He clouted 5 sixes and 3 boundaries in a knock of 61 of 33 deliveries, which really kept up the tempo for Mumbai Indians. But then the wickets going, which really started putting a dampener onto the Mumbai Indians innings. Tim David has not really been able to show his mettle, even though he has been gone for a big prize to Mumbai Indians. So that is something that Mumbai Indians are waiting for. David was cheaply dismissed for 1, Sams for not, Murugan Ashwin for 6, but Ishan Kishan made 54 of 43 deliveries, 5 fours and 1 6. But Tilak Verma was the man who really was the man of the moment. But as I said, he definitely required support. Kieron Pollard, well, he still made 22 of 24, but in the end, one probably thought that with Kieron Pollard at the crease, hope was still there for the Mumbai Indians. But alas, it was not, as the Prasidh Krishna bowled a good over to Kieron Pollard. Even though it was a very tough ask with 24, I reckon, required, it was not going to be easy at all. And finally, Pollard had to be content with 22 on 70 for 8, the final tally. And not 14 runs, it was a victory by 23 runs to Rajasthan Royals. Now, as far as the bowling was concerned, Prasidh Krishna, Brit Costly went for 37 to 30. Navdeep Saini bowling the fastest ball of this particular match. 1 for 30 for Ravi Chandran Ashwin. Chahal was very good, 2 for 26, and Ashwin also. So that was the story of the game where the Rajasthan Royals beat the Mumbai Indians. So Mumbai Indians had to get off the get the points on the points table. And we look at the next match in the IPL. This IPL match was with the new team on the block, one could call, the Gujrat Titans, led by Hardik Pandya. They really showed some good cricket, and they won the match. The Hardik Pandya's team actually winning the match against the Delhi Capitals by 14 runs, but that was an exciting match as well. Gujarat Titans batted first, putting up 171 for 6. They were led by none other than Shubman Gill, who showed his rich repertoire of strokes flowing from the blade when he made a very, very classy 84 of 46 deliveries, which included 6 fours and 4 sixes. Other than that, 31 coming from Hardik Pandya. We have 27 4 fours in that, 20 from David Miller. Tewatia making 14 of 8 with 1 4 and 1 6. 171 for 6 was the tally for the Gujarat Titans. Now, this was a game which was played at Pune, and we could see that the bowlers were definitely getting some purchase, especially the pace bowlers, because the ball was swinging. There was a lot of pace as well, and that was interesting. In the final analysis, if you see, when I talk about pace and bounce and swing, it was Lockie Ferguson who was the man of the match, getting the 4 wickets, getting his best analysis in the Indian Premier League, and also bowling that those deliveries which were bowled with extreme pace. The short pitch deliveries fetching him 4 wickets, including the prize wicket of the Delhi captain Rishabh Pant. Now, looking at the bowling here, Mustafizur Rahman was bowling superbly, 3 for 23. Thakur went for 20, none for 42. Khalil Ahmed 2 for 34. Patel none for 37. Kuldeep Yadav started off bang with the wicket, but after that, he went for runs as well, 1 for 32. But Delhi Capitals chasing 172 to win from 20 overs. The start was not good. They were really put on the back foot right away, especially by Ferguson and Hardik Pandya also getting a wicket, bowling the first over of the match and getting a wicket of Tim Seifert, and that was really good to see. As he hit the ball on the deck because he knew that there was something in it for the bowlers, so he decided to take a gamble by bringing himself on as the captain along with Shami. But Ferguson was the man who made the big difference, picking up those 4 wickets with extreme pace that he is known for. As you know, we all know that Ferguson is an express pacer. Look at the wickets, Prithvi Shaw, and everything. The balls that he bowled was real fender benders. So it was not easy for the batsman as well because there was real pace into it. He was digging the ball into the pitch and some nip of the seam as well. And that was really causing problems. Mandeep Singh was caught in a no man's land, I would say. He wanted to back away, cut it, but managed to get a thin edge. Pant was also a victim of Ferguson. Then Pant also picked up, Ferguson also picked up Akshar Patel. Rishabh Pant was the highest scorer with 43 of 29, 7 fours included in that. Hope was still there, Lalit Yadav. Roman Powell was still the hope, but when Roman Powell fell, LBW Mohammad Shami for 20 of 12 deliveries, it was all over. And was even though Akshar Patel showed a bit of pluck by hitting 2 boundaries in a knock of 8 of 4 balls, that was it for them. Shardul Thakur out for 2. Kuldeep Yadav was not on 14. It was just a formality. The match was all done and dusted. The Gujarat Titans picking up their second consecutive victory in the Indian Premier League 2022 as they won by 14 runs. And the good thing is that Hardik Pandya is also batting and also bowling, and that is a good news for Gujarat Titans. Looking at the bowling card, as I said, Lockie Ferguson picking up his best bowling figures in Indian Premier League. 4 overs, no maiden, 4 for 28. Shami, 2 for 30, always on the money. Hardik Pandya bowled superbly, 1 for 22, 1 for 30 for Rashid Khan as well. Varun Arun, unfortunately, on this particular, with the first over, he bowled for 7 runs. Very unfortunately, Varun Arun was not able to bowl any further, which was a real sort of a setback. Because Varun Arun is also an express pace bowler. He relies on pace. And I think this pitch would have definitely suited him. Probably could have knocked over some timbers. But nevertheless, one only hopes that he's fighting fit for the next match. And as I said, Pune is one which is a real juicy pitch where the pace bowlers are relishing really going there and hitting the deck. Now, we turn our attention now from Indian Premier League. We get on to some international cricket. We talk about international cricket, let's talk about South Africa versus Bangladesh. Now, South Africa versus Bangladesh is increasingly showing that they are belonging to this category now. We know that they defeated New Zealand in Mount Manawini in New Zealand, and they drew the series, as you would all remember. And here in South Africa, they have already made history by winning the ODI series, and now in the first test in Durban, even though they are trailing behind, no doubt about it, but one really liked the way they actually combated the South African bowlers. Now, South Africa batted first in this the first innings, and they were bowled out for 367. Temba Bavuma, the highest scorer, with 93 with 12 boundaries. Dean Elgar making 67 with 11 boundaries. Sarah Larry 41. And other than that, Keegan Peterson was dismissed a bit cheaply, was run out, unfortunately. Varun making 28. But Simon Harmer, who came into the name, made a good difference there. With the bat also, he contributed. And this is what I was talking about. I probably thought that, Simon Harmer is someone that South Africa, in the test matches, I'm not at all surprised that Simon Harmer came. But I also like the way the Bangladeshis lost 4 wickets on the previous day. But I like the way they actually came very hard on Simon Harmer and did not concede a single wicket to him. But Simon Harmer with the bat also did a good job. Not out 38, 4 fours and 1 6, and 367 was the score on the board. Khalid Ahmed was very impressive with the ball. 4 overs, 4 wickets for 92, 3 for 94. Matthews and Mirage. Abhidat Hussain took 2 wickets. Bangladesh, in their reply, they had a hero today. He became Mahmoodul Hussain Joy, the opener. We saw what sort of resistance he can do, how he has the ability with a technique to actually occupy the crease, which he showed against New Zealand. And here against South Africa, he went one bigger than that, as he became the first ever Bangladeshi cricketer or the Bangladeshi batsman to score a century in a test match against South Africa. And what a knock that was. One only hoped that he could actually carry his bat with this maiden ODI, maiden century that he hit today, because that would have been probably another record for Bangladesh. But unfortunately not so. He went all the way, but he could not get on to the... He was the last man out. But what an innings from him. 137, 15 fours and 2 sixes. And that was a day on which Simon Harmer was really playing havoc with the ball, with the Bangladeshis really searching for the ball when Simon Harmer, this innocuous right-arm off spinner, was bowling. But one really liked the approach from the Bangladeshis. They have done their homework. They probably went back the previous day and definitely have looked into the videos probably, and probably the coach also probably had a talk with them, Domingo probably, and then they decided, Jamie Siddons also probably contributing there, and they decided that attack is the best form of defense when it comes to Simon Harmer, because probably they realized that being so defensive against a bowler of a class of Simon Harmer probably cost them their wickets. So they decided that the only way to combat him is to really go for him. And that's what precisely they did. If you look at it, everybody started going for... they decided they had a game plan against Simon Harmer that they won't concede any wickets to him. And that's what they precisely did. So I definitely, I think, hats off to Bangladesh for having that approach, and that really paid, even though probably Harmer could have been a bit unlucky. Probably 1 or 2 catches were dropped off his bowling, but still, I thought Bangladesh still did it in a very, very nice manner and not giving the wickets to him. 41 to Liton Das, 29 Mahmoodul Hussain Miraj, who is increasingly showing that he's a very good all-rounder to have in the ranks for Bangladesh. 298, there was definitely the lead, 69 runs lead was conceded. But again, I thought Bangladesh would still be happy with the effort. The bowling, Simon Harmer yesterday, and today it was Lizard Williams, the only one who could have some penetration on the Bangladeshi batsman. 3 for 54 his figures, 1 wicket apiece, Duan Oliver and Van Malda. And South Africa in the second dig at close of play on the, I think it's on the, I'm sure it's the third day's play at Durban, and they ended up with 6 for none, with South Africa leading the day by 75 runs. So South Africa definitely with the noses in front, no doubt about it. But also the next match, Pakistan versus Australia, the ODI series finally coming to an end. This was the decider. And just wanting to tell you that the other day in the second match, Pakistan on a perfect batting pitch, where Australia raised a flurry of runs, making 350, with Ben McDermott getting his maiden century. And once again, Travis said, the other day he scored a century in the first ODI, second ODI. He was out for 89. And he did a good job. And one was thinking this was the decider, but also credit to the Pakistan batsman raising that, hunting down the total of a massive 350 and making the highest ever successful ODI chase in history, in Pakistan ODI history, as they won the match in a very, very convincing fashion at the end, with lots of wickets to spare. Babar Azam was the chief architect there, with a wonderful, wonderful classy century, being a very classy player. But not only that, he carried on today once again, where the Australians, on another good batting pitch, I would say, probably didn't take advantage of it. The Pakistani bowlers did a good job as they bowled the Aussies out for 210. Imam ul Haq was going from strength to strength. The other day he scored a ton. Today he ended up with 89 runs to his credit. So the Pakistanis winning this decider by 9 wickets to bring an end to the ODI series 2-1, with Babar Azam named player of the series. And that will be a refreshing feeling for them, with the captain. Babar Azam is the most stylish player today in world cricket. doing a fantastic job. Let's talk about the Aussie card there. If you look at the Aussie card there, the Aussies totaled up 210. Ben McDermott contributed 36 of 50 deliveries, 3 fours and 1 6. Alex Carey was the highest scorer, and he looked very good at the crease. 56 of 61. He had 6 fours and one exquisite shot over the extra cover region for a 6. Cameron Green contributed 34. This was the partnership that actually stemmed the tide, one could call, for the Aussies. 30 for a 47, 1 4, 1 6. But Sean Harbert was swinging for the fences with the tailenders along with him, as he contributed 49 of 40, 6 fours and 1 6. But the Aussies were bowled out for 210. The bowling, 3 for 39 for Harry Shroff, 2 for 40 for Shaheen Shah Afridi, 1 for 51 for Zaid Mahmood, 3 for 40 for Mohammad Wasim, who looked good, and 1 for 38 for Iftikhar Ahmed. Pakistan, the target 210 is a good batting pitch once again. It's just a matter of applying yourself, and that's what the Pakistanis did. Pakistanis stuck it out at the center. They lost Fakhar Zaman for 17. It didn't matter in the end. The final bottom line mattered. 37.5 overs. Game was done and dusted. The series, the ODI series to Pakistan, Imam ul Haq was not over 89 of 100 balls, 6 fours and 1 6. Imam ul Haq has really shown that he's a player who belongs to this Pakistani team, no doubt about it. Babar Azam, another class innings, not out 105. We have 115 balls, 12 fours, 214 game, all done and dusted. You look at the bowling in place of Sweepson, but he got taken for runs. 9 overs cost him 51, 1 for 38. Nathan Ellis. Adam Zampa went for plenty, 50 runs coming off his bowling. Cameron Green, none for 9 gain. Not going to go much into that, but also talking about another game, New Zealand versus Netherlands. This was the second ODI, and New Zealand have already won the ODI series. But one thing I have to credit Netherlands for something. They absolutely had the New Zealanders on the ropes yesterday. At one point of time, they were 32 for 5, and from then on, probably thought that the bowling was very good. Fred Clausen, the left armer, with pace and some movement as well. 10 overs, no made at 636. Logan Van Beek, who has already been playing for New Zealand in the past, in the sense he has been playing his domestic cricket. Logan Van Beek, 10 overs, 2 made and 56 runs and 4 wickets, also looked impressive. And these were the two bowlers who really brought New Zealand to their knees with a score on 45, 32 for 5 at one stage after 10 overs, 9.4 overs to be precise. Tom Latham, the captain, was the one who came to their rescue with his highest ODI innings, not out 140 of 123 deliveries, which included 10 fours and 5 sixes. Now, this is something you don't see, 5 sixes. You never see Tom Latham coming and cracking sixes, but this was a different Tom Latham. He really showed his uncharacteristic attitude yesterday when he cracked 5 sixes of the Netherlands bowlers. 264 for 9, and definitely they had some support from Doug Bracewell with 41 as well. Now, looking at the Netherlands innings, they were bowled out for 146. Contributions from Vikramjit Singh, 31. A very fluent 31 of 51 deliveries, included 7 good boundaries. Bazley Lee, 37 of 58, 5 boundaries. And that was all over. They were bowled out for 146. And New Zealand definitely winning the match by a big margin in the end, 118 runs. If you look at the bowling for the Kiwis, it was Doug Bracewell, the off-spinner. I thought he bowled very well. And so not Doug Bracewell, I'm talking about Michael Bracewell, the off-spinner, who was the best. And definitely one really saw how he was able to turn the ball. He was pitching, he picked up his wickets by pitching the ball outside the off-stump, but he was getting nice turn and he was knocking off the timber. 5 overs, no more than 21. And I think Michael Bracewell is looking a good prospect, according to me, from what I looked at his bowling there. 5 overs, no more than 321. Supported by East Shorley, 217. 1 for 20 for County Grantham. 1 for 38 for Blair Tickner. 2 for 22, Kyle Jamieson. And Doug Bracewell, 1 for 24. Tom Latham taking the Man of the Match award for his 140. So that's it, dear fans, friends, subscribers, from my Cricket Happening show for today. Hope you all loved the broadcast. Tomorrow, once again, on Sunday, on 3rd of April, I'll be back once again talking to you all with the Indian Premier League 2022 cricket and also the international cricket. We'll be talking about the 4 days play about South Africa's second innings progress against Bangladesh, and that's what I have for you. Have in store for you tomorrow. Until then, it's goodbye from my host, from your host Ram. But as I always tell you, Twitter is something where you can definitely get into it and have a sneak peek at it as well. I have my own website, www.cricket-status.com. So catch up with you all tomorrow. That's on a Sunday, 3rd of April, 2022. Until then, it's good night.